Beats Planet.
Yo. Testing. What's happening? What's crack-a-lacking? Let me fix my microphone. Clear my throat and all that. Let me take a sip of water and all that. Hold on. I was trying to operate Twitter at the same time. And, I was listening to Tupac verse on Running from the Police because it gets me hyped to talk a little bit of draft. What's happening, y'all? Welcome. We're talking offensive tackles today. Okay? Let me put this back here. I ain't gonna need that notepad for the day. The right ear straight? Hey, the right ear straight? All right. So, Pete, do I have any housekeeping today? Besides follow me on Twitter if you haven't. Hit the doorbell if you haven't. We do these shows on Tuesday and Thursday. Might do some Cowboy Talk on Wednesday. Tune into that. Salute to my Patreon people. I'm going to do a merch giveaway on the 1st. Stay tuned for that. Film's coming out. Boom, boom, boom. I think everything. Somebody called Nene beautiful. Cut it out. We don't need to be talking to Nene in the chat box there. Who up in here? I don't know how many Steven Benzic up in here. Franklin Football, Ruglog, Nene. Lieutenant Dan's up here. Apparently I hate Voch now. Well, you do, Dan. You hate Voch. You do. Hey, look, I was in Dan's chat box the other day. He was like, somebody that's a Cowboy fan, that's a YouTuber that used to coach. Come on, my guy. What we doing? It's all good, man. It's all good, Dan. We'll talk. I don't think that you really hate me. But we haven't discussed things in a while, so we will discuss Lieutenant Dan. Said up in here, said is probably looking for offensive tackles on his Minnesota Vikings. We're gonna be very lit on that conversation today. Let me kind of set up tackle talk before I get into tackle talk. Let me spend the next 5 seconds telling y'all who I think is the best tackle in this class. Okay, the best tackle in this class clearly is. And that's why he's the best tackle in this class. But one thing that I noticed is that when you look at the mock drafts, you look at the top 50 boards and all that, there's no real consensus here. And I think that's kind of fly. Because the one thing that makes drafts fantastic is parity. Boy, when Reggie Bush is the best running back we've ever seen, then Mario Williams goes ahead of him. You know what I mean? Or the hey, we got this many quarterbacks lined up, which one goes first? And what was the Baker Mayfield conversation that day? Then all of a sudden Baker was just number one. I remember me and my brother Sid was watching a draft one year, and we was like, oh, Todd Gurley busts his ACL, he can't go first round, and he went 10th. You know what I mean? So parity makes draft really well. It makes it very entertaining. So on that note, I'm watching these draft guys, right? And I'm not super draft expert to where I know exactly who everybody is without having to look at the top 15 boards. Nah, I'm not that guy. I've never been that guy. I've always went to other people's lists, and I was like, hey, who are the top 15 or so draft prospects this year? And I'll take that list, and then I'll watch my own film, and then I'll come to my own conclusion, so to speak, right? And what I like about it this year is that everybody's top 5 look a little different. Everybody's top 5 look a little different. Some people's top 5 make a little sense to me. Some people top 5, I want to know what you're smoking. And what I like about that the most is me being a Cowboy fan. And I made this point when I was talking to Foster King yesterday, when I've done draft shows, just prior to that. The one thing that I really like about that the most is that the more that these priority positions move up in the draft, the more guys can fall to my team. You know what I mean? So if we're in a league to where there's not a lot of good tackles, and it's a gang of tackles in the draft, cool. Bump all them kids up, because I ain't necessarily looking for a tackle this year, right? Same with edge rushers. Same, with some of these other top talents or whatever. But there's going to be some position that's not deemed important, whether it be defensive tackle, whether it be linebacker or safety. One of those positions, wide receiver, that's not deemed important, those guys are going to fall down because we have no idea what the order of the tackles are going to be. So we're going to talk about some of these tackles today. Whether I feel like their first round conversation is warranted, whether some of these people are bugging, and we'll just go from there. Greg say Voch versus Dan is a new Birdman versus Wayne. No, that ain't that. I don't hate Dan. Dan hate me. It's a difference. Let's see. What else chat box talking about before I get going? Are y'all right behind who? Yeah, we're right behind the Falcons, absolutely. Voch, I told you about Mekhi Becton last year. Okay, this the one thing about the Voch, I told you about this guy last year. I only got room for one class per year. Like, I've forgotten everybody last year because I'm trying to cram people in my head now. Now, if I'm watching on a Sunday or something, like, oh, that's that player that went to Iowa State, I can remember that. But you can't be like, hey, Voch, in 2 years, there's going to be this dude named Mekhi Becton, and you should be looking out for that's right out the other ear that went. So my bad, Brandon, but that's what happened to you. Let me pull up the note app on my phone so we can get this thing crack-a-lacking. I watch film on no particular order, by the way. Andrew Thomas, Jedrick Wills, Tristan Wirfs, Josh Jones, Mekhi Becton, Austin Jackson, Trey Adams. I know I got some more film in there. Who else I watch? Prince Amuka T'Challa, Trey Adams, Terrence Steele. I've watched him too. And is that everybody I watched? Yeah, Prince Tega Winogu. There we go. I was looking for him. Auburn. There we go. It's just he's bunched into that paragraph. And let me tell you why. Let me just get this out the way. Let me tell you why I couldn't find Prince Tega Winogu's name in my list here. Because his draft assessment, his paragraph of notes was attached to the Trey Adams tab that I got. I got these guys kind of sectioned off by tabs or whatever. So when I'll put, Austin Jackson, I'll type something out, then I'll do a new tab. Well, Prince's tab was connected to Trey Adams' tab because I was so sick of watching Trey Adams, I ain't typed nothing. Let me get this out the way. Yes, we're doing phone calls today. The phone number to call in is 515-606-5187. Access code 309104. It's on the screen. It's in the description. You can't miss it. Let's get this out the way. I watched film on Trey Adams from Washington. Left tackle. Made me sick. I couldn't finish watching it. I went back to finish watching it just to make sure I wasn't bugging. But I hated him. I thought he was pretty trash. We're not going to talk about him very long. Let's talk about Austin Jackson from USC. Boy, the pundits are a big fan of Austin Jackson. I hate to use the S word. I also hate to use the L word. Somebody in the chat box tell me what the S word is, but I hate to use that S word. But Austin Jackson plays so S word that it makes me sick. I just wrote down, not a fan. He plays really tall, not much power, kind of S word to me. I hated it. I cut on the Utah game. Oh, Bradley and I are smoking the hell out of him. I said, okay, so his feet may not be that great, but he looks like he's moving that well. But Bradley and I got 2 sacks on him. Let me watch the Iowa game. AJ Epinesa pushing him all over the place, picking on him. I said, oh, his feet are great, but he's S word. Okay, cool. And I saw somewhere that was all like Austin Jackson is a first round pick. Oh, please somebody take Austin Jackson so my team won't get him. Please somebody get Austin Jackson from USC. Not a fan of him. And I think that's all the people I hated. So we're good there. Now, I don't do player comparisons. I hate to do it. I actually never do it. But it's just in my brain, I couldn't help but to compare these people to a lot of other people, not in a player comparison kind of way, but in a, hey, I remember he's in that category of guy to kind of help me get my points across, right? Let's talk about Andrew Thomas from Georgia. He's a left tackle. I enjoy looking at his feet. The first play I saw, he shot out of his stance. His feet were fantastic. They moved well. They didn't look heavy. He didn't cross his post foot very much. He traveled well. He pounded back inside very well. I say, oh snap. I was like, let's keep watching. Run game is solid, but I like that he picks on these little dudes. So when he was up against Arqua from Notre Dame and he was up against Chason from LSU, he did have the feet to keep up with him. But since they were small, he kind of, put hands on them like that. I'm like, I can appreciate somebody that knows his fights, right? He can get kind of tall sometimes. I didn't really like that, but and this is where my player comparisons came into the way. I don't do comparisons, but just hear me out. I wrote this down exactly. I promise I can screenshot it. I said, he's a franchise tackle in a Laramie Tunsil kind of way, but not really in a Tyron Smith kind of way. He has good feet, but he's not super powerful, but not in an Andre Dillard kind of way. Does that make sense to y'all? Like, he has great feet, and he is a strong guy, but he's not this super powerful dude you would think about if I'm going to take a offensive tackle top 5. He's not super powerful guy like that, but he ain't like Andre Dillard, who has great feet and ain't that strong. You know what I mean? Just tell me if that kind of makes sense to y'all. But his feet damn near got fire. Like, he picks them shits up and he moves them. And I like him a lot. Serviceable? No, I don't think that's the word I want to use. I don't want to call him serviceable. Austin Jackson, I guess, is serviceable, even though I think he's S-word. I don't want to call him serviceable. I really think if you took Andrew Thomas in the top, top 8 or something, I don't know, because I think the quarterback race in the top 5 is going to get weird, and guys are going to get bumped down. Then we got the two defenders, the edge guy and the cornerback. So I think the offensive line going to start flying off the board around 6. Hey, man, if you take them there, cool. But I just don't think he's one of those demigod, kind of left tackles. He's not a Tyron Smith demigod guy. But I do think he's like a really good Laramie Tunsil kind of guy, if that makes sense. Let me address this, though, because I see a lot of Raiders fans doing this to me. When did Colton Miller come out? When did he get drafted? Like 2 years ago? Something like that? Let me address this about Colton Miller. So when I watch film on Colton Miller at UCLA, let's talk about UCLA's Colton Miller. And he was trash at UCLA. I'm not Miss Cleo. Okay? I don't know what he's going to turn into. I don't know what your O-line coach is for whatever O-line coach he's going to go to. I know that when I watch film of UCLA, Josh Rosen got a lot of concussions. And he got most of them from getting hit from the left side. And Colton Miller didn't play with much strength. And his hands were all over the place. And his technique was terrible. Now, if somebody got hands on him and fixed him, cool. I didn't watch film on Colton Miller as a Raider. Why? Because I can't see the future. I saw what I saw. A UCLA product that got Josh Rosen concussions. So what's your name? Kings Only 710. Tell your Raiders fans, quit hitting me up. This shit don't matter. You know what I mean? I say this all the time. Even with the whole with the what's my man? Ole Miss receiver, DeKalen. Okay, DK Metcalf, right? Perfect example. Hey, look, you can be drafted late and still be a good player. People like, oh, I bet if you'd have redraft, you'd have took DK Metcalf top 10. No, because he still ain't Julio Jones. He still ain't Nuke Hopkins. He still ain't those guys. But he's a very good player. You can get very good players in the third round. You just stick to what he does well, and that's out athleting people. Relax. you can get good players outside of the first round, man. We don't know what these players are gonna be when they get to these teams, bro. We have no idea. All right, so let's get back in the offensive line talk. I don't think DK Metcalf got old. I think he got drafted appropriately. Anyway, Jedrick Wills. Let me take a sip of water before I get started with Jedrick Wills. If you're weak in college, you'll be weak in the pros. It's not like the other guys stop lifting. I'll tell you something, Emmett. Something that happens a lot. A lot of these teams getting these systems, these system type offenses where they do a lot of movement and misdirections and whatnot. And to be fair, Colton Miller probably ain't give up a bunch of sacks or whatever. Show me some film of like Colton Miller whooping somebody. I want to see that. Show me that film. Let me know. But anyway, Jedrick Wills from Alabama, right tackle. Interesting player. Very interesting player. When I watched him, I had to immediately kind of compare him to Andrew Thomas kind of sort of in a way. Okay, cool. What am I getting from Jedrick compared to Andrew Thomas? You know what I mean? And I think Jedrick is a more powerful guy than Andrew. I think Andrew's feet are faster, right? So I think they're like the opposite of each other, but I think Jedrick is just as good in a way to Andrew Thomas. When I was watching Jedrick, I kind of got some Jack Conklin feels. You know what I mean? Just a mean dude, angry guy, pissed off kind of way. You know what I mean? Reliable in the like as a former offensive lineman, I can watch some people's pass sets and be blown away. I look at Andrew Thomas's pass sets and I go, man, that's impressive. Jedrick pass sets aren't very impressive, but they get the job done. Okay, so you don't get drafted off style points necessarily, or at least you shouldn't, right? But it's very reliable. He's another stand up kind of guy. What's going on with these guys standing up? But he's a oh man, so I think if he deals with a super speedy rusher kind of guy, I think he'll have some problems. I forgot which film I was watching, but it was like some super fasty speedy rusher was kind of getting over on him a little bit. But in those situations, he'll jump the snap a little bit, put hands on guys, and then it'll be done. I think he's one of those, hey, once I get my hands on you, why I oughta kind of guys. And that's cool. That's cool. And if you look at a guy like Jack Conklin, like he's a solid, hey, he's a cool right tackle. He was drafted top 10 or something. Somebody tell me where Jack Conklin was drafted at, but you plug him right in at right tackle, you run with him. I think Jedrick Wills is that kind of guy. You plug him in and you just go. You just go. But I do like him in the run game. One thing that I did notice about him is his eyes. He makes a lot of eye mistakes in terms of late blitzes, in terms of gap exchanges. When you get to the second level, he kind of whiffs on guys, and that's an eye problem. If you're an offensive lineman and you get to the next level or whatever, the second level, the linebacker level, and you watch an upper body, they can fake you out. Their head can go one way, their body go the other way. Next thing you know, you're rolling around like, what happened? The best way to fix that is you got to have focus with your eyes. You can watch the belt. You can watch their jersey number, and they can't shake you from the jersey number. Where the jersey number goes, the body goes. He would whiff on a lot of blocks. He would miss on some of those gap exchanges or whatever. But everything else was kind of cool. If Jedrick Wills gets drafted before Andrew, I might be a little surprised by that. I don't know, but he's up there though. He's definitely up there. There are some people that have Tristan Wirfs from Iowa better than Jedrick Wills. I'm not on that. I'm not on that boat or whatever. I'm not a big fan of him pass blocking. This is Tristan Wirfs from Iowa. Not a big fan of him pass blocking. And when I was watching Iowa, the first game in Iowa I was watching, right? And they just kept throwing the ball. And he kept looking funny while he was pass blocking. And I'm like, why the hell is this? I'm like, he looked terrible. He just looked real bad, right? Because they just kept throwing the ball. But then Iowa finally ran the ball like 5 times in a row. I'm like, that's why he's considered like a top 5 pick. And that dude moves the hell out of people. If you looking at it, if you like a power run team or something, and I don't even want to say power run, but if you run the ball a bunch and like you don't do a lot of outside zone stuff, you can zone block, but as long as you ain't putting him in a whole bunch of spots where he's like moving around a lot, I think he's a fantastic as far as pushing guys off the ball. Now, I don't do player comparisons, but y'all remember how I felt about Cam Robinson from Alabama. He's a Jaguar. He's the Jaguars tackle now. I kind of feel that way about him, to where I like his size. He's a cool pass blocker, kind of, sort of. Fantastic, big, strong dude. If it don't work at tackle, I would love to see him at guard. That's my thoughts on Tristan Wirfs, if that makes sense. Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know if that's the vibe that y'all are going with. Nick Gash said Wirfs is very unpolished. He's very unpolished. It's like he don't want to use technique. He don't want to use his pass blocking technique. But he'd rather just get hands on you and move you. And you know, I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that at all. I see some Jawan Taylor and Jedrick. I forgot. Who was Jawan Taylor? From Florida? I forgot. Who else? Josh Jones from Houston, the left tackle. And I'm going to get to the phones in a minute, y'all, so please hang tight. Let me just get through these handful of notes, and I'm going to get to the phone. Let's see, is anybody even on the phone? We got a few people on the phone. Cool. 2 people. I'm going to get to y'all in a second. Josh Jones from Houston. Love his movement in the run game, right? As far as if you run like inside zone, outside zone stuff, if you pulling, I like his movement in the run game. I don't expect him to flat out move people though, but he's very much so hat on hat guy. And if you one of these teams and y'all run inside zone, outside zone, sometimes all you got to do is be hat on hat guy. You know what I mean? And I'm fine with that. I'm fine like outside zone stuff, like hooking people. Get out of here. Pulling and getting to the other side, getting to the next level. Get out of here. Fantastic. But he's not very powerful, but he travels well in the passing game. Quick feet, not heavy. Lateral movement's really good, but he can brush up on his technique though, right? And when I was watching him, he was very inconsistent. He'll win some and he'll lose some. But I think his inconsistency comes from his lack of technique. Like if he just learned how to use his hands, he'll be way better than what he is now. But he moves so well that he wins by positioning sometimes. And if he gets in the right spot, he can clamp onto you and just keep his feet moved, because his feet, he makes all his money with his feet. Sean Doty dropping 15 to super chat. Appreciate you, sir. He wins a lot of fights, by being in the right place. And if you run through him, and he gets hands on you and he resets his feet because he's naturally good at his feet. He may not even know what he's doing, but he'll reset his feet and he just naturally wins that block or whatnot. And I think he had a pretty good Senior Bowl too. So, but yeah, Josh Jones, he's the Andre Dillard type, which makes me feel like he can work his way into the first round or whatnot. He's the Andre Dillard type. I wouldn't say Jonah Williams, because Jonah Williams is kind of like that, but Jonah Williams was a little more reliable. But I did see Andre Dillard kind of get overpowered sometimes, but his feet were good, but his hands was kind of whack or whatever. So that's Josh Jones to me, and he had a pretty good Senior Bowl or whatnot. So let's just take that for what it is. Mekhi Becton from Louisville. This is the one y'all been wanting to hear about. Let me sip water before I say this. Okay. Here are my thoughts and opinions on Mekhi Becton. I think he's Daniel Jeremiah's first ranked tackle or something. Here's my opinion on Mekhi Becton. I'm playing. I'm kidding. Okay, but look, it seems like every year we get that big ass dude that move better than the other people his size. So we try to, talk about his potential and what he could be or whatnot. That's Mekhi Becton this year, right? I think the easy way to sum up Mekhi Becton, listen, take everything I just said about Josh Jones and put 20 pounds on him. That's Mekhi Becton. I think I'm right about that. Or at least that's just how I feel. You take everything I just said about Josh Jones and you put 20 pounds on him, and that's Mekhi Becton. When you look at him, he's bigger than everybody else, but he's not powerful guy like you would think. But he moves really well. He moves really, really well. And if you're a team that values a tackle that moves really, really well, cool. height, we like 6'7" or something ridiculous. Length, all that good stuff. Great feet, probably have a fantastic combine. Depend on what you like. It depends on what you like. The one thing I couldn't stand about him, tell me if y'all saw this on film. I know Nick Gasher probably saw this because he watched film a lot. The one thing I couldn't stand about him is he always looking back for the ball carrier when he should be finding work. You know what I mean? Like if something happens in the play and he just say he doesn't have somebody to block, he'll look back for the quarterback or the running back to see where they at, when he should be looking forward, finding work. That's that term that we always talk about as offensive line evaluators, finding work, that if I don't have anybody to block, I need to find somebody to block, right? He don't find people to block. He look back and find the quarterback. Look your ass the other way. Hey, quit playing. Which year was this tape? 20. I watched both years. I watched both years of Becton, I believe. So yeah, he just looked back a lot, like find some work. But besides that, like he's not a powerful dude to say he's that big, but he's tall guy. He's tall guy. He's heavy ass guy, and he's good feet guy. He's just tall and heavy. Austin Jackson is terrible. Trey Adams is just like Austin Jackson, but Washington. I was kind of interested in Terrence Steele coming out of Texas Tech, but I was so uninspired after watching Josh Jackson and Trey Adams that I didn't feel like watching Terrence Steele anymore. So I'm gonna have to go back and watch Terrence Steele later when I feel a little better. But Prince Tega Winogu, he's the last one for the day. Auburn's left tackle, and I think he's a very solid, balanced player. Very solid, very balanced. Some people would ask for like Voch, what does he do bad? I don't think he necessarily does anything bad. I just don't think that he's fantastic at any one thing. But he's balanced. He gets his job done, and I like that. He got some good sides to him too. But if he had to play against somebody with elite speed, he might lose, or like elite power, he might lose. So that comes from him not being elite. That's why that happened. But just in terms of what does he do well? He's really, really good at being balanced. That's what he is. I ain't gonna talk about what round he might go in, because that's just something I don't do no more. People really get into that bag of, hey Voch, what round you thinking? Sorry. Get out of here. All right. So we gonna open up the phones to see what y'all got to say about the offensive lineman. I've watched all I'm going to watch for this trip. I don't know the position I'm going to watch next. I'll figure it out, and I'll let y'all know by the end of the show. But yeah, there will be a second crop of offensive linemen that I'll be watching. Sure, I know there's a lot of guys that I missed. Auburn got another guy. Alabama got another guy. Iowa got another guy. We'll just watch them later. All right, I'm gonna go say hey to my mama, and I'll be back. Yeah, say hey to your moms, man. Don't worry about us. Just watch this on demand. Brandon from Frankly Football. Hello, sir.
How's the water vibe?
The water is very in the middle. It ain't good, but it ain't terrible.
I feel you. It's off season and we ain't there, so I mean that's the best we're gonna get.
That's what I'm saying. It's very neutral. It's a very neutral water. Mm-hmm. What you got for the show, my guy?
So, I mean, you saw what I typed earlier, Mekhi Becton's my number one guy, but I'm kind of biased. Grew up around him. He about the same age as my younger brother. They played football together.
Tell me like how did you get there? How did you get to Becton being your number one, like him being better than the others? Tell me how.
He's always been bigger and until probably the NFL level, stronger than everybody else.
Sure.
So, he always had the natural talent. But I think, and I'm going to give you the real, every level, except I can't really speak on Louisville, but every level up until the collegiate level, he been coddled by coaches.
So how the hell is he your number one guy? What, if you've been coddled, how did you get number one? You know what? It's easy to coddle somebody that's 6'7", 3 infinity. Yep. You know what I mean? So that makes sense. But go ahead.
But one thing that I could say is it didn't make him lazy. They just didn't work their best to correct like the bad habits that he had.
And he got him.
Yeah, they did. I'd say his ceiling probably gonna be like Flozell Adams.
I don't do.
That's my opinion.
I don't do player comparison, and I don't think he's powerful enough to be Flo. But you remember that conversation that we had about Greg Little when he was coming out from Ole Miss?
Yeah.
But how fantastic he could be because he's big and tall and he moves well. But he kind of up and down everywhere else.
Yep.
I mean, that might be a conversation, right?
Yeah. Very, very valid.
Okay.
I think that O-lineman is going to be one of those classes where, you know, it's going to be one of those picks where a lot of teams are going to have, it's going to be surprise picks. Let me say that.
Sure. Because
everybody needs O-lineman.
Sure.
And I'm making a video about this. Like Bucky Brooks came up with like this philosophy, and it's not new, but every team needs anywhere from 10 to 12, blue chip players, like top 10 of their position in the league, in order to make that true playoff push.
Sure.
And O-line is going to have to be at least 3 of them on the offensive side of the ball.
Because everybody's D-line is getting better, so to speak, you would say?
Yes, absolutely. And, quarterbacks can only get away for so long. Well, other players are – go ahead.
Well, see, I always have this thing that I say, this new age theory or whatever. People would often say that left tackles should be better than right tackles, but I just think people need 2 good tackles because nowadays people have 2 good ends. And nowadays, 3 techs are becoming a lot more top tier. So offensive lines should be 60% fantastic at least. I agree there. You're right.
And I feel like, of course, the rules are going to be catering to the offense, but I feel like defensive linemen are getting better faster than offensive linemen are getting better.
Well,
like
that's because I'll tell you exactly why that is. Because we're dumbing down offense so much. I was having a conversation with somebody in my comment section somewhere, and his brother's offense. He's a line coach somewhere, and he was like that they're having whole coaching clinics teaching people this clamp thing, this new clamp technique that Green Bay did, and Brett Coleman makes a video, and everybody comes to Voch like, "Yo, Voch, what do you think about the clamp thing?" And I hate the clamp thing because when I came up, it was hands inside, and even in 2020. When I see hands inside, I see successful blocks. When I see kids trying to clamp and they miss, they die horribly, slowly. And I think
you need true skill and finesse to be able to get them hands inside Voch. If a guy knock them away, you got to try again.
I think what that comes from. Can't do that. I think what that comes from is teams are getting rid of the ball way quicker than they used to. You know what I mean? Like there is vertical passing, sure, but a lot of this stuff is people throwing bubbles, people throwing these rub routes, these slants to where the quarterback's getting rid of the ball quick, these rhythm throws. He's only really having the ball for like 2.5 seconds. And that doesn't allow these offensive linemen to learn techniques like I'm going to give ground slowly and pop my feet. Oh, I'm going to learn how to keep my post foot up, pound inside, travel back outside. They're not learning these techniques because the damn offense, they don't hold the ball long enough to implement it.
And, of course, that's a testament to how good the quarterbacks are. Quarterbacks and schemes. Schemes have gotten progressively better in order to work around the quarterback's weakness.
Football whack.
At the collegiate level.
Football whack.
We're not going to go that far.
It's whack. Whack. Man, look, when you watch film on a lot of these guys, like it's a whole bunch of play action. I'm going to roll my whole entire line to the right, and I'm just going to bootleg left and toss to a tight end for 2 yards and hope I get some yak out of it. That's whack for offensive line evaluation. And it's soft. It's soft. I hate it.
Oh, so you can say the word for play calling.
I can say yes,
but you can't say it for players.
Yes, I can say soft. You know what? I hate calling football players soft, but I can call play calling soft because I lived that life. I lived both lives, but I would much rather call play calling soft than call football players soft. Some play calling be soft. What we running out? What we running all these?
I ain't gonna say this.
Running all these reverses for. Meanwhile, if you're a D lineman, you know you get to use all your moves. You get to work all your little muscles out. You an offensive lineman. Look, Tyron Smith do it all the time. You ever seen a DN get upfield on Tyron, and all he really do is turn and smack him upfield? He ain't really blocking him, but he's just turn and smack him upfield. Same thing.
The only thing that I see a DN do after Tyron is get up from the ground.
That's facts, but some people say they want to trade Tyron or they want to cut him for whatever reason, save somebody. I don't get it, but whatever.
What would it take for you to trade Tyron?
I'm gonna go be a Jaguars fan somewhere.
Hey man, it be like that sometimes.
Because apparently,
you always gonna have the people that want to overreact.
I'm gonna go be a Jaguars fan until Mike McCarthy leave. Jason Garrett never would have traded Tyron Smith. But have you watched film on any of the other guys that we've talked about tonight?
I haven't done lineman yet. I've done skill positions.
Okay, so you've just watched Becton, but he's your number one guy.
Because I'm connected, you know, that's about it.
Damn, man, turn your gas station down.
I'm at Chick-fil-A, man. My girl ordering food.
Well, she's screaming at the window. I tell you what.
Well, good.
Thank you.
That's all good. I ain't hating on nobody, my guy. Hey, man, you got to make sure she get the Polynesian sauce. You know what I mean?
It's Chick-fil-A sauce around here.
Know what I like about Chick-fil-A? When you order the sauce, they say how many would you like? You know what I mean? But
it don't matter the number.
But just the fact that they offered, we not trifling enough to go, well, since you offer, I mean, I just need two. But shit, let you go somewhere else and want some sauce, and they try to give you one. Can I get 3 more? Because you're trying to hold me on sauce.
You know that sauces are 15 cents each.
That's what I'm saying. Like, man,
try to pour something like that.
Come on, son. Well, if that's all you got, Brandon, I got 2 other callers, my guy, and you should probably watch a handful of other tackles and not just crown Mekhi Becton because he's your guy. But if you watch film on the other guys and he's still your guy, then let's have that conversation later.
We will. And, you know, I will probably find somebody that does things better.
Mm-hmm.
But I always tell you this before: you can't beat genetic. So, you know, we'll assess the situation from there.
Hard work always beat genetics. Plug YouTube, sir, before you leave.
YouTube is Frankly Football. New video, 3 new videos probably gonna come out tomorrow. You know, just gotta get the motion of things out there. But please, you know, go check out my other videos, subscribe, all of that stuff. That's all I got, man.
All right, get out the phone. Giving out all these free plugs. I ain't even get a chicken sandwich. You just giving out free plugs. Let's get back to the phone now. Tony, what up, man?
What's up, Voch?
Everything, my guy. What you got for the show?
Actually, I wanted to pick up on what that caller just said. He was talking about how defensive linemen are getting so much better.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually thinking about that topic the other day when we was talking about Chase Young, and I was like, he ain't a generational talent. Because since, like, the 2010s, defensive linemen is getting way crazier athletic.
Sure.
That's why I was like, the term generational talent for defensive linemen is kind of different now.
I always
so many crazy athletes.
I always say, if you drop Vita Vea in the 30s, like, they might assassinate him. You know what I mean? Like, being 350 pounds and can run he ran like a 4.7, 4.6 or something, it'll probably assassinate Vita Vea.
That's what I'm saying. Most of these defensive linemen a couple years ago, they tear up the league. But now it's starting to become more common. And I feel like defensive linemen had, like, talent. They just jumped up while linemen hadn't got that jump yet. Like, defensive linemen now is getting ridiculous. Dudes like Myles Garrett, like Von Miller, them guys are getting ridiculous. But also, I wanted to talk about this draft class. You know, I've been looking at the mock drafts. You know, I don't really.
Can I say something? Can I say something for you get off that point? On your last point, I think it comes from because once upon a time, D lineman used to be like 250. Remember Deacon Jones or whatever. He's just a smaller D lineman. I think offensive linemen just smoked the hell out of them, and that's where technique came from. But when D linemen evolved, I think what happened is instead of trying to evolve offensive linemen, we evolved scheme to deal with defensive linemen. And look, I learned this in high school. I remember my coach talking about this. We had this cat play for Meridian back in Mississippi. Cat named Jacoby Eason, and he played D end. And I remember going into the game, Coach Wood saying, "Man, look, if we can't block this son bitch, we just gonna read them all night." And I think a lot of the read option came from not wanting to block these people. You know what I mean? So we create different things on offense instead of improving the caliber of player. I think that's an interesting thought, and we might have to do another show on that. But my bad for cutting you off, Tonio. Go ahead and say what you were saying about the rest of these linemen.
Yeah, I agree. But I look at mock drafts, and I don't really put too much stock into their opinions. But I like to see where apparently in the NFL world where tackles gonna go. So for a while, what I've been hearing was Andrew Thomas top 5.
Yeah.
For the longest.
Yeah.
It was like Jedrick, it was like Andrew Thomas, top 5, Wirfs, top 10.
Sure.
I've been hearing that for like months.
Mm-hmm.
Then all of a sudden, what's his name? Jedrick Wills. He jumped all the way up. Now all of a sudden he's supposed to be top 5 tackles.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then, then I'm watching the Senior Bowl. And I think his name Bucky Brooks. I saw his mock draft, and he had Mekhi Becton at like 4.
Yep.
And I was like, I ain't never heard of this dude.
Yep.
I was like, who this is? I looked him up. Apparently, he blowing up because the tackles is getting weird.
Yeah.
There's new dudes coming up every single week. Mm-hmm. Mekhi Becton coming up. Jedrick Wills blew up. Andrew Thomas and Wirfs. And then a lot of them, Wirfs, I've been hearing Thomas outside the top 10, 15, like.
Yep.
And a lot of dudes starting to drop, like Epinesa. I'm starting to see him drop. It's a lot of dudes starting to drop.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
And it's a lot of, because, continue?
No. Go ahead. I'm agreeing with you.
But also, like, there's not a lot of guys I don't think could play left and right tackle. Because I really like Wirfs. I like Wirfs in the run game, like you said.
Yeah.
But pass blocking,
yeah.
People are thinking about moving him to guard, actually.
I would love him at guard, sure.
There's a conversation about him moving to guard. I like Jedrick Wills. I really like him in the run game, but I don't know about him playing. First of all, I don't even know about him playing left tackle. Because there's a conversation if Jedrick Wills play left tackle, and I don't know. And I like Andrew Thomas. Andrew Thomas was like the consensus number 1 tackle for months.
Sure.
I really like Andrew Thomas at left tackle.
What do you think about Josh Jones?
I forgot about Josh Jones. Josh
Houston.
Jones was also a dude they was talking about for the first round for the longest time.
Sure.
But the problem with Josh Jones was he played at Houston.
Yeah.
And his technique ain't that,
Sure.
ain't that great. But they was like, yo, he's so athletic. That's why the Senior Bowl was so big for him.
Senior Bowl helped him, yeah.
Yeah, because the biggest thing about Josh Jones is like, well, what he going to do against this higher competition? Now, the Senior Bowl ain't got the greatest competition, but it's a whole lot better than when he was facing at Houston.
Mm-hmm.
So, Senior Bowl helped him get into the first round conversation. Because the whole thing, I like Josh Jones athletically. He ain't, like you said, he ain't the most powerful guy.
Right.
He's athletic, big dude. Well, he tall dude.
He's tall. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they say he like 6'7", big tall dude. Yeah, like you said, not that powerful. Got long arms. Technique needs work.
Sure. If you're a team that doesn't really need like tackle help or what, like that's fantastic news for you. Like you want all this parity to happen. You want everybody's top 5 to be different. And the one thing I like about these media guys, about like, Daniel Jeremiah and like Bucky Brooks, they make their mock drafts based on what they hearing. You know what I mean? Based on what they're hearing from different GMs and like personnel people. So that means there's actually legs somewhere saying that Wirfs is top whatever, Wills is top whatever. Thomas is top whatever. So if there's that much parity and we're constantly moving guys up the board and it's full of receivers, like hey man, I mean full of tackles, man, come on, son. But give me Isaiah Simmons at 17 and quit playing. But go ahead.
I'm starting to think Isaiah Simmons might fall to 17. It's a pretty deep receiver class. The tackles is starting to move up. Apparently, Herbert, all of a sudden, they think about him being the top 10 pick.
Good.
And, Jordan Love, they've been talking about him probably being, for a while, he was considered like maybe the third quarterback. He just came out of nowhere, but then Herbert got to the Senior Bowl. Mm-hmm. So Love might go top 15. And, yeah. Because in this draft, a lot of top talent is going to fall.
Good.
Now, it's a lot of top talent is going to fall. Now, if you need an interior offensive lineman, you might not be in the best draft, especially when Creed Humphrey dropping out the class. He was probably going to be a first-round guy, too.
Yeah.
But he dropping out, and it's not a many interior offensive linemen. But if you need to tackle, there's a couple tackles in this draft. But, yeah, because I know you was talking about Isaiah Simmons. You was talking about I was thinking, and also this is going to matter for Isaiah Simmons. Do teams see him as a linebacker or a DB?
Either way, both those positions are not valuable. Off the ball linebacker and strong safety, those positions aren't valuable. Let him fall. But, hey, it is what it is, though. Appreciate it, though, Tom. Call in Thursday.
All right.
Yep. I think Thursday, I think we're going to have those conversations. We're going to talk about movement in the draft or whatnot, like who can possibly trade in and trade out or whatnot. And we're going to talk about generational talent, like what that means. We've been having this conversation for a while. I saw something in my chat box I really want to address. Hold on, something. Wait. Please stop. Isaiah Simmons going top 5 hands down. You want to bet? I don't gamble a lot. I'll bet money on this one. Put your PayPal on it if you want to say something. Isaiah Simmons won't go top 5. I'll bet that. He might go top 10. He might not get past 12. He ain't going top 5. No sirree, Bob. Especially with the latest developments, that's been going on in the National Football League hey, bet you he won't go top 5. But anyway. Nick Gashler, how's your mother?
My mother? Oh, she's fine.
How are you?
I just came down to say hi to her because
okay.
I'm doing better.
You doing much better. You went back to school with your chest out and your aviators. You know what I'm saying? Got your little whoop de woo to walk around with you, my guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
That's what. Nick, let me ask you something, because you're my young person correspondent. What's TikTok?
TikTok, I don't even know how to explain this thing. It's a social media thing.
Yeah.
People like post videos and shit. I think it's the cancer of this fucking earth right now, man. But no, like people like it's like to songs. People like post music. Like, basically videos of them dancing or videos of them doing something. It's pretty stupid, but, like, it's so popular. I have no clue why.
I remember growing up, and I had a Facebook. This was before old people got their hands on Facebook. And I had my Facebook, and I was trying to explain to my dad what Facebook was. And he was such he was such an old dude that he was like, I don't know about no Facebook or Instagram. About no Facegram. I remember him saying that, and I remember me saying, "Dad, there's no way on this earth you have no idea what Facebook and Instagram is. You're really old. I hope I never get that old." Nick Gash, I'm 27. Granted, that's not that old. 27 is still young. But I'm like, what the fuck is a TikTok? I'm like, I refuse to download some shit called TikTok. I refuse. Never. Voch had MySpace.
Oh,
facts. Voch had MySpace. Voch had a Bebo. Voch had a Black Planet. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and I stopped at Snapchat. I ain't want to download Snapchat because even that shit sounded goofy. But TikTok? Fuck out of here. Man, Nick Gasser, boy, my girl showed me this video of a TikTok. It was on Twitter though, which is weird. It was a TikTok on Twitter, and it was about it's this viral video about these girls dancing in the locker room, and it was the whitest thing she'd ever seen, and it had like 9 million views or whatever, and apparently she knew them people or whatever. I'm like, and I just like, so this is what TikTok is. TikTok is basically Vine, right? Is what Vine was,
right?
So
it's like Vine, and if you remember musically, it's just like they put it in like a giant ball and just like called it TikTok. Like that's pretty much what TikTok is.
Let me ask you one more thing before we get to football again. Do black people do TikTok, or is it just a young person thing?
No, black people do not do TikTok.
That's what it is. Okay, that's why. I got you.
It's the whitest thing, honestly.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
Yeah, there aren't.
Okay, so pardon me. It's not because I'm old.
No.
I'm just too black to do TikTok. All right, my guy. Back to football. Nick Gash, let's talk about these left tackles here.
Right. Where do you want? Do you just want me to start with just go down this list?
Whatever you want to talk about, my guy.
All right. I know we aren't talking about Trey Adams, so I'm gonna just open with this, and this is all I have to say. He's gonna get drafted, right? He's gonna come to summer conditioning. He's gonna have to do some speed drills. He's going to hurt his hip, or he's going to hurt his ACL or something like that. Yeah. This kid is so injury prone. It's not even funny, bro.
Yeah.
It's stupid, man. I mean, yeah, it's just a huge red flag for him, and it makes him almost undraftable through the first 2 days.
Yeah. He just
we'll see.
He just looks like he's out of shape too, and that might be why he's getting hurt, cuz he looked like he out of shape. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Austin Jackson, I'll just go in the order that you kind of put these guys in.
Okay.
Austin Jackson, he's like athletic and all that, but like you said, he's an S word, he's an L word.
Yeah.
You see him a lot of times just like kind of like reach out and hit somebody in pass protection, but then doesn't do anything else and lets the dude beat him up, man. It's not fun to watch. Like I get it, like athletic tackles coming to premium. I remember when the Broncos drafted Garrett Bowles, just because he was athletic. He was super raw and he was athletic, and now look at him. He's getting like 20 holding calls a game. He's going to be out of Denver by the start of the season next year. But I feel like Austin Jackson. And the sad thing is, like, because he's so athletic, I feel like he's going to get overdrafted. Because that run on tackle, you're right, is going to happen about 6 through 10.
Yep.
And then those teams like the Dolphins and the Vikings and stuff are going to be looking like, oh, shit, I need a tackle. And they're just going to see him on the board and probably take him.
And next thing you know, Jerry Judy's going to be outside the top 10, and we're going to be like, what the hell happened here? Yep, I can't wait.
Right.
But go ahead.
The tackles and the quarterbacks are both going to get run on early, I'm pretty sure.
Sure.
But moving on, we got Josh Jones. Not a solid technique guy, but he's super athletic.
Yeah.
And I think he's good if he can get taught that technique. Like, I'm just looking at the picture of him that I put in his scouting report. My scouting report of him, he's like in a pass set, and his knees are like faced inward, and his like feet are super outward. So just horrible technique all the way around. But it's cool. I gotta go real quick, but I'm just gonna go through the 4 other guys that I want to talk about. Andrew Thomas, he's like technically really sound. Like we talked about this when you're going over him. He's technically very sound in the pass protection game, and he can do some stuff in the run game. But I feel like he's a little unbalanced in the run game. He's gonna fall off blocks a lot. Jedrick Wills, super violent, super like powerful dude. You got that one spot on. Yeah. I like Jedrick Wills, and I feel like not a lot of people were hyping him up or giving him too much recognition, but I feel like I rated him above Wirfs in my first like consensus of these tackles.
As you should.
I'm going to stick by that throughout the draft process.
Mm-hmm.
As we move on to Tristan Wirfs, that dude is horrible technique, man. You like Josh, like go watch the Michigan tape, man. Josh Uche just killed, or Uche or whatever, just killed him, bro.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Thank you. That's the film. That's the film I was watching. Thank you. When I was like, he's gonna have problems with quick people. That's exactly who I was talking about. Josh Uche beat the hell out of this. Go ahead. My bad. Sorry. Go ahead.
Right. No, I hate his. Like, I'm not a big fan of his hand technique. I think it's kind of erratic. And then again, like his anchor, he just got killed by Josh Uche. And I was trying to figure out what's up. Like, why does everybody like this guy? And you're right. He does have some power in the run game. He's big and that type of stuff. But I just don't feel like he's like the dude that everybody's putting him up to be. You know what I mean? And then finally, I'm just going to talk about Mekhi Becton. As I call him, I like to call him Fat Albert, just because I think like 370 pounds as a tackle, that's crazy.
Yeah, they're gonna make him lose weight.
So if we're calling Yetur Gross Matos Matos, I want to call Mekhi Becton Fat Albert, bro.
Let's do it.
But like he's like you said about him, he's not a super powerful dude in the run game, but at the same time he's super athletic and like he sets his pass protection is really good too. Good footwork, he can get upfield, but like you said, he's gonna get caught looking behind. And like I said it in the chat box earlier, like when you get caught looking behind and you see number 77 guard or whoever it is fucking up the block on the linebacker that's gonna leave the linebacker in open in space, you need to go help him on that and just ass whoop him. You know what I mean? So I think Mekhi still needs to learn a little bit about that, but like the intangibles are clearly there, the athleticism, and then overall I think he's one of my favorites. I grade him out as like a borderline first rounder, or no, he's like borderline first rounder. My bad. But I feel like he could go a lot higher, like maybe 18 to 24, somewhere in there.
Sure.
But yeah, that's about all I got on these tackles. I think it's a cool tackle class. I think there's a lot of developmental dudes, but at the same time, you got guys like Andrew Thomas and then Jedrick Wills. Yeah. And I feel like Fat Albert, Mekhi Becton's pretty close there, but we'll see.
The best thing about teams reaching for one of these guys, it don't matter if they do, as long as it ain't my team. You know what I mean? I think that's the overall draft rule or whatever. So when I see somebody saying, "Oh, Austin Jackson could go first round," I'm like, "Where?" first round of baseball draft or something. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't know, dog. I'm not having that.
No, that's all good.
Yeah.
Yes,
how your grades looking? You doing good in school?
I'm doing what I can in school. It's early, but I'm doing pretty good.
Okay, well, as long as you graduate and do something with your life, that's all that matters, man. You know what I'm saying? You know.
Yes, sir.
Be nice to the women. How old are you now? 16? 17?
16, yes, sir.
Wear protection, my guy. You know what I'm saying? And don't call me sir. I'm not the police. I'm not the police. Listen, man, that's something I've been dealing with lately. That's something I've been dealing with, me being older, is I have like younger like cousins. I don't have siblings or whatever. I got younger cousins that are about your age or whatever. You know, one's 17, mm-hmm. There's another that's 19 or whatever. And I just had to recently explain to them that I'm not the police. You know what I mean? You don't have to, because I got a 19-year-old cousin that smoke a little bit, and she had to look at me and confirm that I won't snitch on her for smoking. And I'm like, I'm not the police. I don't tell on you. Funny, I don't tell on you, but I get it because I'm 27 now, right? Like when I was 17-year-old Voch, clearly I'm not the police. Clearly. Or even if I'm 24-year-old Voch. I'm 3 years from 30.
You're not the police. Bro.
I'm 3 years from 30. Yes, I'm not the police. But I have this other cousin that's like 9. I'm absolutely the police to her. Oh, goodness. There's nothing I can tell her to where she won't think I won't snitch or I won't go tell her daddy or I won't go. Man, and this sucks being police because I'm older now and that comes with being older. Like, I'm police now. So don't yes sir me unless I'm putting you through football drills or something. But besides, come on, son. But anyway,
I got you, man.
But anyway, all right, Nick, guys, I'll let you on the phone, man. You can cuss on my show, but I say don't get nobody pregnant. Now I'm the police. You see, I don't like that. All right, Nick, get out of here.
All right, bro.
I told Nick to strap up because I know what it's like to be 16. He say, yes, sir. That's funny. Chat box, what y'all talking about? What time we got? How much time we got, chat box? Because I want to respect y'all a little bit. Hey, man, these podcast forum shows, man, be so dope, man. Like I saw this report, man, that Ninja, you know, the Fortnite player or whatever, he left Twitch and went to Mixer, and they paying him $20 million to go over there. And I'm like, man, I'm just telling y'all. I told Twitter earlier, but I'm telling y'all, man, that when I'm done with football, I'm done. Y'all better love me, man. Y'all better love me, dog. Like, it's when I'm gone, I'm gone. It's a sign you may be. Who is this? Who is this? Somebody put him in timeout. I don't know. I need an admin. Anyway, so chat box, for the next 15 to 20 minutes, I'll be opening up the questions to you. What's happening, y'all? What y'all got to say? Where y'all at? Hey, Greg Castillo, hearing sir from younger women you're interested in is hurtful. Look, I got an uncle, my Uncle Ephraim, man. Shouts out to Ephraim. I don't even know if he's listening right now. He probably is, probably not. But I got an Ephraim. He like 50, but he's still like 30-year-old women or whatever. And he said the one sign where the young woman ain't trying to give you none is when they call you Mr. So when they call him Mr. Ephraim, it ain't no hope when they call you Mr. Gregory. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, sir, like Mr. You ain't getting none as Mr. Gregory. Anyway, ZC dropped 2 in the super chat, says I got $2 a little short of 20 million. I appreciate you, man. Daps and hugs, my guy. Daps and hugs. Hennessy versus Boosie Badass. We ain't looking at guards yet, but I like Boosie Badass a little more than your boy Hennessy. I went into the Senior Bowl a big fan of Hennessy, but Hennessy ain't really do nothing to separate himself. So that's that. Best shonen anime. I'm a Detective Conan fan. Detective Conan is my number one, sorta, because I am Dragon Ball guy, but I think Dragon Ball kind of gets wonky in some place. Like the entire series kind of gets wonky because Dragon Ball is fantastic. The first 2/3 of Dragon Ball Z is amazing. Kid Buu gets weird, GT gets weird, and Super is a kid's show. But Conan was consistent throughout. So I'm gonna say Conan, then I'm gonna say Dragon Ball. One Punch is fantastic, all that good stuff. Also, listen, I just found out this today. Me and my girl gonna watch later. Phoenix Wright has an anime. Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney or whatnot, he has an anime. So we gonna watch all 40 something episodes of his anime because here's what it is. Shouts out to my Phoenix Wright fans. What y'all know about Phoenix Wright? We should tag Byron and trade him and a late pick next year for Okuda. Ugh, that's Madden. That's Madden, dog. Chaseon Young is the bane of my draft life. Chaseon Young is the bane of my draft life. Translate that for me. And let me hit that button.
The conference has been locked.
What do you think about, I don't know him too early. Did the right tackle from Georgia stand out when you were watching? See, look, when I watch film on one person, I don't watch nobody else. So I don't know. But I'll probably have to watch him at some point if he's in this draft. What do you think about Tristan Wirfs from Iowa? Rewind the show. What kind of tackle talent do you think will be around day 3? Well, ain't no day 4 unless you're talking about undrafted guys. I'm always of the opinion that if you ain't getting tackles in day 1 or getting offensive linemen in day 1 and day 2, you ain't getting them. I'm always of that opinion. Is tackle class deep? Yes, relatively. Ooh, what a pick. Absolutely. Teddy Conan is that guy. Conan Edogawa. Kuro Shunichi. Hey man, look, you wanna know a weird thing about anime? I don't know how many anime watchers I got in here. Do y'all catch yourself saying Yosh like in y'all regular conversation in English? Like like I'm not a Japanese speaker or whatever, but I do know that Yosh is anything that happens positively, like yes or hooray or just anything of good energy means Yosh. I say Yosh in real life. Yeah, and there you go. See, look, T-Rod know what's up. Dragon Ball Kai is the best? No. I know they cut a lot of fat, but some of the fat in Dragon Ball Z is pretty good. Might need to pick up Phoenix Wright Collection for Switch. I've been playing the Phoenix Wright Collection for Switch, my good sir. It was on sale for Christmas for like $3, so I picked it up. I also picked up Final Fantasy VII. So I'm gonna play Final Fantasy VII on Switch before the remake comes out, and by then, the Fire Emblem DLC will be out. So I watch Fire Emblem, but I just beat Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Goodness, and all Legend of Zelda ain't been great to me in years. Oh, they back. How you feel about this, Mark Voch? Considering we don't make a trade and we stay where we are right now. Round 1, Kinlaw/McKinney. Round 2, Uche/Duggar. Round 3, Justin Jefferson. Ooh, Justin gonna be gone. Albert O, tight end. 4, KJ Hill. 5, Blankenship. I don't know. Justin might be gone. And you know what? Mocks are going to be weird this year because people ask me all the time, yo, Voch, if Kinlaw is there, do we take him? I mean, shit, it depends on who else is there. I bet it's going to be some gangsters at 17. We just don't know who's going to be there at 17, man. We just don't know. We just have no idea who's going to be there at 17, man. Just, I meant what round? Yeah, I got you. Who's got a nasty streak mentality at offensive line? Go watch some Iowa film. Go watch Wirfs. Watch him run block though. Watch Tristan Wirfs run block. Watch Jedrick Wills. Watch those guys run block. They nasty. It's my problem about Naruto, right? It's my problem. I like creativity in anime. That's why I like One Punch so much. That's why I like Mob Psycho so much, right? Because they're different. They're relatively different. That's why I like Conan so much. Conan was a big contrast from a show like Dragon Ball Z. You know what I mean? But that's what I don't like about Naruto. Like when Naruto first started, I think it was the best it's ever been. When we're just a school about ninjas teaching kids how to be ninjas, and we grew up to be ninjas. That concept is fire. That concept is fire. We're a ninja school teaching kids how to be ninjas. When they started blowing shit up and summoning deities, I was out. I had to leave, man. Naruto has so much potential. Rock Lee vs. Gaara is one of my all-time favorite anime fights. But then you ruin it with planets blowing up and deities. Then the filler. Shikamaru is amazing, but the filler. And I had to stop watching. You would like Demon Slayer, solid anime. Heard of it, haven't gotten much into it. Is there a day 3 tackle better than Fleming? You might as well keep Fleming. My girl loves My Hero. I've watched a season of it, and I think that's what I like about My Hero too, is that it's kind of different. I watched 2 seasons of it via her, but I haven't watched season 3 and 4 because my life is so I wear so many hats, man, and my interests are so big. That's why the second channel gonna be so fantastic. That's why the podcast is gonna be so fantastic. Sometimes I'm into gaming. Sometimes I'm really deep into cooking. So I, like one month I was just cooking steaks, trying to figure out how to get perfect steak. So while she was watching season 3 and 4 of My Hero, like I was trying to get into college football. Like that was going on at the time. So I might catch up on My Hero at some point while football season's not going on. I will not tolerate Naruto slander. See, Sad is more of a Naruto guy. When Naruto turned into Ninja Jesus, I had to take a break. Facts. Listen, you ain't got to be like Dragon Ball, my guy. There's no need to be like Dragon Ball. Just be you. Be you. Be who you are. Be a show about... And you know what? I think My Hero capitalized on that really well. There's simply a show about teaching young heroes how to be heroes. Oh shit! I forgot Yu Yu Hakusho. You can't forget about Yu Yu Hakusho, my guy. Yu Yu Hakusho. You know what? That whole first Toonami Adult Swim lineup that we kind of grew up in. You know, that Tenchi class, that Gundam class, that Zoids class. Why is Hamtaro on TV? Inuyasha, Yu Yu Hakusho, Trigun, that whole era. Oh, goodness. Anime was podding then, boy. Jeez. When are you going to get the Voch's Voice podcast going again? Soon. Stay tuned. Samurai Champloo, sure. Lupin the Third, sure. It's another one I'm thinking about. Samurai Champloo, Lupin the Third, Outlaw Star, sure. There's plenty of them. One Piece too long, but look, I know One Piece is written really well. One Piece is written really well, but it's too long. Conan feel like Japanese Scooby-Doo. The plot doesn't go anywhere. See, Stabby McStab. I hate your name, by the way. Stabby McStab. See, it's not about the plot. Because I agree, the plot don't go nowhere. But what's so good about Conan, they have the best filler episodes because it's a detective show. Right? It's not really a show to where the plot would progress and these big time skips happen. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that kind of show. What the value that you get from Conan is, hey, what's going to happen in this new case? And the cases are written really well. You know what I mean? So that's what you get from Conan. Like if there was an anime that was all about fights but wasn't focused on plot, then you would watch it for the fights. You know what I mean? But Conan is all about the cases. I mean, sure, they throw some plot in there here and there, but it's not about the plot. It's not about the plot. Then you had those fake animes like Samurai Jack and Avatar. You know, apparently, according to the internet, Samurai Jack is way better than it's supposed to be. And if you watch it as an adult, that is greater. I haven't gotten into that yet, but the greatest non-anime anime is Boondocks. That's the best. The best non-anime that is anime, Boondocks, man. Come on now. Boondocks is a fantastic example of our plot isn't going anywhere, but the case by case, episode by episode structure makes it dope. Same thing. Same thing. One Piece has too much world building. There's no such thing as too much world building. As a Game of Thrones fan, as an Elder Scrolls fan, as what else got some ridiculous lore? Some well-written ridiculous lore. I can't think right now, but it's no such thing as, you know, too much world building. Grew up off Bleach, Naruto. I feel you. Dark Souls. Yeah, sure. Dark Souls, Witcher. Yeah, they got big lore. They got big. Yeah. Voch Lombardi on PS4. I haven't been on the PS4 in a while. I've been on the Switch as of late. Hey, chat box. I got like 8 more minutes. If y'all got questions, it can be football. It can be anything. Whatever y'all want to do. Voch's Voice podcast will be. And you know what? You know what I hate the most? Like these conversations that we're having right now that would be good podcasts. Me and my brother said he in the chat box somewhere, we have these conversations all the time. And I get sick. Because Said's not a podcaster, but we have fantastic podcast conversations. But we just have them in our personal life. Hey, Voch, you ever make it to Mobile for the Senior Bowl? No. Thoughts on Julian Arqua? Check out our Edge episode. We did a whole Edge episode. Check that out. It's pretty good. According to the internet, I hated on Chase Young for like 20 minutes. Cool. And I talked about the other Edge guys. Pay Dak, tag Amari, tag Byron. I'm just trying to pay these people. I just want them on the team. I just. What's your EDC looking like? Oh, that's an interesting question. I still carry my Glock 19, fully stocked. I haven't made any kind of any kind of modifications to it. I want to get a True Glow sight on there. You know, just to have a night sight on it or whatever. But as of now, it's totally stock with my alien gear inside the waistband holster. I have a CRKT knife. It's called a Banshee, I believe. It's real dope. It got a lock on it. I actually saw it at the gun store I bought my 19 from. I carry that around because I'm one of those maniacs that carry a pocket knife everywhere I go. And I have a Olight Striker as my EDC carry light. And EDC lights are very important because when you go in dark places, sometimes you need lights. Sometimes I have a multi-tool on me. Sometimes. That just depends. I got my keys with my Thanos and Black Panther Funko Pop keychains on it. I got this whack-ass Galaxy 8-7 I probably should upgrade real soon. And my Dallas Cowboys Dak Prescott lanyard attached to my keys. And I got some goofy-ass wallet that I should probably upgrade too. That's my EDC. It's a thorough EDC. You can tell a lot about you can tell a lot about a man by how he answers EDC questions. The fact I went into the holster and the multi-tool, I get into this EDC game, dog. Who do you think the coach should draft? I didn't watch enough coach. So, hey, draft defense or something. Now we're getting Colton McCoy for a scratch and sniff stick. Shit. Goodness. If I had $1 for every time Chase Young over pursues on it, ooh. Cowboys are going to draft Henry Ruggs. Even though I would like Henry Ruggs, and if we had him, we'll play him outside and we'll put Cooper at sliding. That'll be interesting. We'll run a 4-receiver set. I just think we're going to go defense. Like we just got the number one. We got one of the number one offense in the league. Yeah, I'm trying to make my defense top tier. Offensive tackle 1 through 5: Thomas, Wills, Wirfs, Louisville guy, Becton, and Josh Jones. Thoughts? I can't hate on you. Yo, Voch, what are your gun AWS out by you wondering? Voch, what are your gun AWS out by you wondering? Stephen Benzie, what that mean? Look, don't even tell what it means. Just write it differently. Because I feel like I'm going to know exactly what you're saying. I'm just missing something. Voch, what are your gun AWS out by you? Yeah, Benzie, rewrite that so I can know what you're saying. Should the Cardinals draft a receiver or O lineman? Draft the O lineman if it makes you feel great. I ain't watching enough Cardinals, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. Gun laws. Okay. So let's go back. Voch, what are your thoughts on it? Okay, cool. I won't go to a lot of places because of their gun laws or whatever, but Virginia's getting real wild with their gun law proposal right now. I don't like it. I don't like a lot of gun laws, man. I don't like a lot of red flagging laws. Like if you are a gun carrier and you get angry in public, then they can call the police on you and get your guns taken away. Like you can't get mad because Popeyes ain't give you enough sauce in public. You know what I mean? Like, what if I'm being black in public and somebody don't like that? You know what I mean? It's just you're giving people too much room to profile. That's why I like Texas, because you can have a rocket launcher in Texas if you can afford it. You know what I mean? What are your gun laws out by you? I'm in Texas. Like I said, I'm in Texas. Texas is, you can have whatever you want in Texas. But like California, I would not feel safe in California, man. I would not. People wearing rifles outside of Starbucks. So, now, I don't do that, though. I don't open carry. I'm not. First of all, I don't think I can open carry an AR-15 on my back in public. I'm lawfully able to, but I don't think I'm able to carry an AR-15 on my back in public. But I do think I deserve the right to have AR-15 just in case. So that's my thoughts, man. It gets wild, bro. I was thinking about a Walther PPQ and an HK. Walther PPQs are good. They're good. My brother said I almost bought one. Do you mind answering what separates right tackle from left tackle? handedness. If you've been playing right tackle your whole life and you move to left tackle, it's going to be very weird. And I tell you, and I know this because I played center, so I had to be able to slide in both directions because I ain't really got a side. And I slide better. I'm right-handed. I slide better sliding to the right, or I slid better moving to my right. When I had to slide to my left, shit felt weird. Once upon a time, you were the left tackle because you were the better tackle, and you were tasked to cover the quarterback's blind side. I just think right tackles have to be great too. So nowadays, left tackles and right tackles, it's just all about who's the better. I mean, who like handedness, like who feels better there. You know, I also had this theory that like dark skinned people play the right side, light skinned people play the left side. I had that theory. I don't know where the theory came from, but it's just something I always thought. But I don't know. I'm ignorant as hell. What else y'all got? I'm not feeling Delpit. Delpit's a good player. Delpit's a good player. Even though I think Delpit, I think a better player than Delpit will be at 17 because I just got so much faith in the top half of this class or whatever. I think a better player will be there. But that's not to say that Delpit is a bad player. But if Delpit is the best player there, then give me Delpit. I'm not a Cowboy fan, but is Van Der Esch going to be all right? He'll be fine. He'll be fine. Voch know he Voch know he black. Voch always been black, my guy. What you saying? Voch know he black now. What are you saying? You can't open carry when you're in the right complexion. That's facts though, Trip. That's facts. Opinions on Andrew Thomas playing right tackle in the league. Also, do you think Wirfs has the talent to be a good pass rusher if he fixes his technique? I mean, he'll be fine because the league gets. I mean, look, if you go to a team that gets rid of the ball quick, and I mean, you can system your way into dealing with a pass rusher these days. You know what I mean? It's not, you know, you ain't got to be as good as you think you have to be an offensive lineman. Just got to be good enough. And I think Wirfs is good enough to pass block. Even though he's not great at pass block, I think he's good enough in some systems he can get away with it. Just don't hold the ball too long because he'll get smoked. Do you think this is a weak safety class? Nah. But I hate DBs though, so or I hate watching film on DBs. That's good. Akira is as good as the Chinese, Japanese animation sci-fi movie in the 90s. Watch people. I'll tell you what, man. I wanted to play Chrono Trigger just off the strength that Toriyama animated. The whole thing. It's Chrono Trigger was it was made from like Toriyama designed it. The guy that made Final Fantasy was in on it. And the guy that made Dragon Quest wrote on it. So that was like a 3 big head RPG anime type guy. Like that 3-headed monster came together and made Chrono Trigger. That's why Chrono Trigger is considered to be, what it is. But that's that. Boy, for the people that watch this on demand and they get done with football talk, we get to the chat box, we talk about anime and JRPGs and guns. Goodness. Thanks, Voch. That makes sense because you need gangsters at both sides. Absolutely. Sam, am I doing wide receivers this year? I'm absolutely doing wide receivers this year. I'm just waiting because there's so damn many of them. It's so damn many of them. Plus, I might wait till the combine. I can't wait till the combine. Combine's like March, yeah. So yeah, we'll do a wide receiver show at some point, but the combine will give us a better idea of who these guys are. Because we get to see them run routes, we get to see them catch, we get to see them run. So. Plus 40s are important. Which do you think is a better fit for Dallas at defensive end if they're at 17, Matos or Epinesa? I like both, but I think Epinesa's a better player than Matos, but Matos. But that's just me. Derek Brown, Gallimore, or Kinlaw? Which one would you take? I think you got to take Derek Brown there, right? Gallimore, second round pick. I think the Brown Kinlaw conversation is a little closer, but I don't really have a good answer for you yet. And like I always say, it's not official till I come out with a ranking video. Now, when you see the ranking video, that's my official ranking. But till then, no. Can you do some film on our defense, on our run defense last year? I did a lot of film on our run defense. Like, see that, you know. I be dropping film, dog, and people like, hey, can you do this? I'm like, I did that. You ain't watching. Favorite source of caffeine? I'm a green tea guy. I like green tea now. You know why I drink green tea in the morning? Because Captain Price drink green tea in the morning. Come on now. Who's the better running back, DeAndre Swift or Jonathan Taylor? Too soon. I'll tell you when we do running backs. That might be in a couple weeks. I think we're gonna talk about safeties next Tuesday. So Thursday we're gonna talk about the draft structure in terms of like the top 10 guys and movement up there and who's gonna take quarterbacks and, you know, things like that. And generational talent, because that's something that we've been wanting to talk about for a while. We've been wanting to talk about generation talent, what makes them generational talents for a good little bit. We just haven't gotten into it. So we're gonna talk about that Thursday. But when it come back to Tuesday, when we actually talk, I guess we just talk about players on Tuesday and we just talk draft on Thursdays. Next Tuesday we'll probably do like safeties or something. And if you're a Cowboys fan, come to the channel tomorrow. Me and Foot's gonna be talking Cowboys. Would you ever consider making a gaming channel? Sure. I'm not gonna be like a competitive gamer. I ain't good at games like that. But I do think I'll have like a channel where you can come in and chill and watch me play games, watch me like react to them and things like that. I think that's more of a thing that I would do. I like single player games. People too good at co-op games. Online games, people too good. Something else I wanted to do is I wanted to play like a football game, most likely NCAA 14, and I wanted to teach football through the game. You know what I mean? Like explain to y'all why I made certain plays or why I threw certain passes or why I called certain defenses or why I called certain offenses against certain defenses. I've been wanting to do that for a while, and I'll go to the instant replay and break it down like it's an actual film session. I've been wanting to do that for a minute, and I might do that with NCAA 14 because that's the best college football game in my opinion. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, well, that's a dope idea. So, Pete, this out. This is my thoughts. This is how I want to do it. I'm gonna get through draft season, but I want to buy 2 more cameras because I don't have 2 cameras right now. I got 1, but in order to really create the experience that I want with this second channel, I'm gonna need 3 cameras. It's very important because I'm gonna do a lot of content that has like angles and things. So I need 3 cameras. And then the Voch's Voice YouTube channel, or Voch Lombardi 2.0, whatever I decide to call it, that YouTube channel is going to go live, right? Then after that, I'm going to build a PC. And that's going to be my gaming streaming PC, right? So then that'll be my way of building that while I'm doing football. And then I might slowly just, let somebody else take over. Let Nick Gasher take over. I said on Twitter earlier that I won't be doing this forever. That I won't be holding this down forever. And that's true. I won't be holding this down forever. But I always think I'm gonna come back and do like conversation pieces like this. I'm always gonna come back to y'all and talk to y'all about the draft process. I'm gonna come back and talk to Cowboy fans about different Cowboy things. But a lot of the grinding that I do in terms of, hey, I'm dropping 5 film sessions this week, I won't do a lot of that. But I'm gonna stay true to my roots because I fucks with y'all fucking with me. You know what I mean? That just means a lot to me. So hey man, whenever we get that support, Speaking of support, T-Rod in the building. Dropping a Honda, fucks with your vision, man. Give me a hug, man. Give me a hug, man. That's what I'm saying, my guy. See, I always talk to Coach Evans about this, right? Or just other YouTubers, right? Because I try to counsel people. I try to bring people up under my wing, so to speak. I don't want to sound like I'm some kind of Yoda or anything like that, because I'm not. I just remember coming up in a YouTube game, I didn't have OGs. I just did it myself. So I try to give, other YouTubers OGs, like Lieutenant Dan Space Cowboy, Coach Evans over at Sip the Tally, Frankly Football. I try to give people OGs so that they can just know how to do it. And I always tell people, man, you're going to have a number of subs, but there's an even smaller number of people that just really fuck with you. And those are the people that you show the most love to. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, people come to my channel, they sub to my channel, and they watch my content. Sure, they're a part of the audience. But there are some of y'all that I consider way closer than that. You know what I'm saying? Salute to you, Jake. Give me a hug, Jake. Give me a hug, Jake Downey. Appreciate the work and shilling for big for the big green tea. Salute to you, my guy. It's a handful of people that just is different. They just fuck with me on a different level. I fucks with the people that fuck with me on a different level. And I won't forget you. Trust me. I won't forget you. I may be like I may be like traveling somewhere. Me and Nene gonna take a little trip and we may pull up in your city. And when I get there, I'm gonna treat you different than I'm gonna treat the audience. There's the audience and then there's them people. I'm gonna treat them people a little different than I treat the audience, because I remember. Steven Benzik is one of those people. That's what I'm saying. I wish I had my group of younger youth, and I say young, but they older than me, of YouTubers. I'm blown away. Give me a Steven Benzik. Steven Benzik. So this is what I need to do now. T-Rod. Yes, we're not gonna forget the barbecue. T-Rod, hit me on Twitter, because I need an address from you. I'm gonna send you some merch. You know what I'm saying? Steven Benz, his ass get merch every month. I sent Steven Benzik a mug he ain't never even seen. Like, ain't nobody even got that mug Steven Benzik got. But T-Rod, hit me up. I need to send you some merch, man. Evan Kavanaugh, give me a hug. Evan Kavanaugh, appreciate you dropping 2 in the super chat. Yasan, give me a hug. Give me a hug. What do you think about Bradley or not? He's fantastic. Email, no Twitter. Cool. Send me an email. It's in my description. VochLombardi@gmail.com. Send me that, and I'm gonna hit you up. I'm gonna send you some merch. I'm gonna send you some merch. I know I haven't been around much, but that Eagles loss was too much for. I understand, T-Rod. You got to do what you got to do, man. You got to do what you got to do. Shit. Anybody else got any other questions? Shouts out to T-Rod, man. Shouts out to. Hold on, man. Let me pull up my my full list, man, because I don't want to leave nobody out, man. Because I respect every super chat I get. I respect all of them. All of them deserve attention. Sean Doty, salute to you earlier. Dropped 15 in that. Sean Doty be around. He just drop money and leave sometimes. Salute to him. ZC dropped 2 up in there, a little short of 20 million. Shouts out to you, ZC. T-Rod, Jake Downey, Steven Benzik, Evan Kavanaugh, Yasan. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for believing in this thing. Appreciate y'all for being around, and not only being around, but I could just tell, man. I could just tell that y'all keep up with this thing. You know what I mean? Just at a high level of dedication. I could just tell that y'all really keep up with this thing, man. So just, man, salute to y'all. Salute to y'all, man. I got a mug. I got sick, long sleeve hoodie, and 2 kick-ass shirts. Hey, man, look, I'm gonna come to Chicago one day, man. We gonna kick it. T-Rod, you from Dallas, ain't you? Ain't you, T-Rod? I be in Dallas. Like, I was at the Rams game. Yeah, I be out there. Yeah. Holler at me or something. I mean, pull up. Oh, Connecticut? Oh, that's not Dallas at all. That's not Dallas at all. But Connecticut, though. See, look, 'cause this is something else, too. I'm not afraid of, like, flying anymore, even though a lot of, like, aircrafts, you know, helicopter crashes, private planes be crashing, you know, Ukraine planes be getting shot down. A lot of air things been going on. Somebody's jet fluid got spilled on some school. So even though flight stuff has been happening weirdly lately, but I'm not afraid to fly anymore. So like, I actually legitimately want to like meet a lot of y'all, man. I do want to meet a lot of y'all, man. Cause a lot of people on the internet are weird, but I fucks with y'all. I fucks with y'all. I want to buy a jersey, but can't decide who. If we got a little missile, I was gonna get him because Darnell Savage, fantastic, man. Look, Devin Frost, that's another example right there. Like just to even call Darnell Savage Little Missile, you know what I mean? That's bigger than audience things. It's a small thing to where two complete strangers can identify with each other in a way. You know what I mean? Y'all may hear some slang I say or some nickname that I'll give or whatever, and we can identify with Darnell. Like there's a portion of this country that calls Darnell Savage Little Missile. And I got a connection with all those people. You see what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I can't take my gun to Connecticut. No. I can't take. Listen, man, this is a funny story. I'm going to leave y'all. We was in Dallas for the draft. Me, Mark Holmes, Law Nation, or whatever. We was out there chilling. Fuster King, everybody came out. And we was in Dallas. And there was this one dude at Mike Fisher's bar. It was at the Maverick bar. And it was just one dude. He was just loud and aggressive. He wasn't even drinking. But he was just loud and aggressive and just making noise and being frantic. But I was strapped, though. I was strapped. I didn't start no trouble with him. I'm a very responsible gun owner. I didn't start no trouble with him. But Law Nation got nervous. And Law was like, man, I don't want this dude to do nothing crazy. I say, Law, if anything happens, we'll be safe. We'll be safe, you hear me? Oh, man. But shouts out to y'all, man. Shouts out to y'all, man. Y'all got any more questions before I get up out of here? Okay, any more questions before I get up out of here? You don't want to come to CT, I'll come to a game in Dallas. Cool. I'll do that. Wild Parsley. Voch, what's your favorite Common and Talib Kweli CDs? The Common B album was really good. And I don't have a favorite Talib Kweli album. But I do like when Talib Kweli and Common, for that matter, I like when they rap with Kanye West. I do like those features, but the Common B album is very underrated. But come to Big D, Detroit. We talking sports. Hey, Detroit and Chicago are very dangerous, but I'll be there. I don't think I can carry in Chicago. I can carry in Detroit, but I don't think I can carry in Chicago. Hey, I think that's all we got. What we just got back to the stream and these goddamn super chat. Yeah, young AK, it's been something else, man. I'm about to go look at some of these cameras so I can uphold my side of the bargain. You know what I mean? You can carry in VA, sure, but they trying to change that law, my guy. But they rallying in Richmond and everything. But what was I saying? Yes, y'all are supporting me to see this thing grow, then I'm going to uphold my end of the bargain and continue to make this thing grow. I tell you what, every time I say that this channel is going to grow like production-wise, it absolutely grows production-wise. So y'all can absolutely have faith in me in that way. This thing's going to happen. But hey, I'm just going to run these ads, and I appreciate y'all for coming through, man. The extra 45 minutes that I tacked on to the end of this thing, it would have been a great little Voch's Voice podcast. That may be something I do. To where, like, if I don't have a topic, I'll just congregate a chat box and just ask questions. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll cross that road whenever we get there. What's your opinion on Mekhi? Rewind the show, and I'll tell you everything you need to know about Mekhi Becton. Y'all hold down for the Dovsky Woski. Until next time, peace. My Cable bill was way too high. I reached out to affordablesticks.com. They sent me a Fire Stick, plugged that thing into the HDMI. Wait, time out. Because I had this button pulled up this whole time, but I forgot to hit it. Shouts out to all my super chatters, y'all. Just real quick, just shouts out to y'all. Y'all deserve that. Now I'm going. My cable bill was way too high. I reached out to affordablesticks.com. They sent me a Fire Stick, plugged that thing into the HDMI. Now I get unlimited shows, movies, and live TV. I'm a huge sports fan, so I love League Pass, Sunday Ticket, and I get the pay-per-view fights for free. There's something for the whole family. You can buy a Fire Stick for every TV in the house and still spend less money than you would on cable. That's affordablesticks.com. There's a link in my description. Go click it. Cut the cord, man. The YouTube Illuminati is taking money away from your favorite content creators, and people often ask the best way to support the channel directly. I tell them that's subscribing to my Patreon. Just $1 a month would increase production and the frequency of uploads. Basically, that means more content for you. For less than a bag of almond M&Ms, you can support the channel, call dibs on requests for future videos, and you can have access to Patreon exclusive material like my throwback film sessions. That's patreon.com/Voch Lombardi. I appreciate the support. Doski Woski. Salute. After canceling my cable, I saved $2,400 this year by switching to Beast TV through channelsforcheap.com. Some people pay $200+ a month. I paid $120 a year, or you can go $15 a month if that's what's convenient for you. You get 2,500 HD channels. 1,000 of those are in English, and there are plenty other international channels, TV Guide, and we get all the sports. One of my favorite things is multi-screen feature. So if I don't know what I want to watch, I can tune into 4 different channels at one time that you can watch on 4 different devices, and it's available on Fire Stick, smart TVs, tablets, and if you're on the go, you can watch TV on your phone. Hit the link in my description or go to channelsforcheap.com where you can get a free 7-day trial. That's a whole week for you to just sit down and play with it and see what you like about it, then come back and make a purchase. If you have any questions, go to channelsforcheap.com, hit this little button right here, and they'll respond to you immediately. That is channels4cheap.com. The link is in the description. I highly recommend it. Let's do it.